Good morning. My name is Joel Hassman Samuels, and I am the Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences at the University of South Carolina. On behalf of our community of faculty, staff, students, and alumni, I am delighted to welcome you to this magnificent setting on the university's historic horseshoe, which is one of the oldest and most iconic academic quadrangles of any university in the country. Indeed, South College, now Rutledge College, known for its timeless chapel, was the first building to be completed and to welcome students to USC in 1805. As we celebrate this seminal moment in our university's history, I think it is worth taking a second to look around us at the buildings on the horseshoe, many of which have served to educate and house our students continuously for more than 200 years. The faculty and staff in the College of Arts and Sciences cherish our role as the heart of this state flagship university, its first academic unit, and the foundational centerpiece of the educational mission at the University of South Carolina. Our students grow through excellent teaching by committed faculty, learning core skills in oral and written communication, critical thinking, and foundational concepts in mathematics and the natural sciences, among others. Our college's extraordinary legacy is cemented not only in the bricks and mortar of the more than 40 buildings on campus that we occupy, but in our incredible faculty, scholars, our outstanding and dedicated staff, our impressive student body, and our caring and generous alumni. You will be hearing from a few of them this morning. As we begin our celebration, I am pleased to welcome a number of guests who have joined us on this special occasion. Our Governor, Henry McMaster, University of South Carolina Board of Trustees Chairman Thad Westbrook, and other members of the Board of Trustees, President Michael Amiridis and First Lady Iro Agalopoulou Amiridis, elected members of the state legislature, other state, local officials, federal officials, distinguished state and federal judges, members of the President's Cabinet, my fellow deans, the faculty, staff, and students of the College of Arts and Sciences and from across the university, alumni and friends of the college, as well as the friends and family of Bonnie and Peter McCausland. It is now my great honor to invite Dr. Michael Amiridis, the 30th President of the University of South Carolina, to come forward.
Good morning, everyone. I'm excited to see so many members of our Carolina community here this morning, joining us as we are making history. This is an exceptional moment in the life of the University of South Carolina. The history of the University of South Carolina is interwoven with the beginning of the College of Arts and Sciences, since this is the largest college on our campus and also the oldest one, as the university's earlier curriculum was built on a foundation of arts and sciences. From our beginning in 1801, right here on the horseshoe. Today, we're taking this college into the future and redefining the landscape for arts and sciences at USC for generations to come. As the home to most of the classes that are taught in the Carolina core, the College of Arts and Sciences has a foundational influence in the education of all USC students. It provides a broad array of courses and majors to engage the talents and interests of young minds and to prepare them to explore countless career paths. It guides them through history, philosophy, biology, literature, mathematics, languages, chemistry, and I'm afraid that I'm going to leave somebody else, so I stop here, and the list goes on and on. And its faculty members strive through these core learning experiences to develop in their students the skills in thinking, research, problem solving, and communication that will carry them to success in whatever paths they choose in their lives. One of these college's history students was Peter McCausland, who graduated from USC with a bachelor's degree in 1971 and a law degree in 1974. Peter and his wife Bonnie have been generously supporting the work of the College of Arts and Sciences for decades now. Among their many gifts to USC, they established the McCausland Faculty Fellowship and the McCausland Center for Brain Imaging. Today, we're celebrating their most far-reaching gift to the university. It is my great honor to announce to you that with a transformational investment of $75 million, the biggest named gift in our history, from Peter and Bonnie McCausland and the McCausland Foundation, the university is proud to present the newly named the McCausland College of Arts and Sciences. The McCausland's vision for the College of Arts and Sciences will build on initiatives they have already begun at USC, and it will create new opportunities for the college's students, faculty, and programs. With this gift, we look forward to expanding our recruitment and retention of more outstanding faculty members through the McCausland Faculty Fellows Fund, and that's the biggest part of the gift, which already has supported the research and scholarship of 73 faculty members since it was established in 2014. This number is going to go up significantly. We will be able to offer more career readiness, internship, and research opportunities to our students, including the establishment of the McCausland Student Innovation Fund to support student learning in emerging technologies. And the university's work in the field of brain health will be magnified through additional support from the McCausland Brain Imaging Center, as well as an endowed McCausland Distinguished Chair in Neuroscience and funds to support the work of faculty and student researchers in this center. Peter and Bonnie, our gratitude is as boundless today as the future you're creating for students and faculty members at the University of South Carolina. The impact of this investment will be felt across every field within the College of Arts and Sciences and beyond. Thank you for your inspiring vision. Thank you for your dedication to our university, to your university and its students. And thank you for your commitment to transforming lives through education at the University of South Carolina. Thank you. Let me get my stuff.
Thank you, President Amiridis, for your extraordinary leadership of the university and for your support of the College of Arts and Sciences. I would like now to ask Thad Westbrook, Chair of the University of South Carolina Board of Trustees and political science graduate from the class of 1996, to speak on behalf of the board and the college's alumni.
Thank you, Dean Samuels. Thank you for your leadership and stewardship of the college, and again, a big day for you, and congratulations. On behalf of all alumni of the University of South Carolina and on behalf of the university's Board of Trustees, I want to thank you, Peter, Bonnie, and the McCausland Foundation for your remarkable gift. Words cannot adequately describe the impact of your gift to this university. The McCausland College of Arts and Sciences is by far the largest of the university's colleges and schools. It's important to recognize that almost without exception, every undergraduate student at USC takes at least one course in the McCausland College of Arts and Sciences to complete their general education. The college does the heavy lifting in support of this university's mission and in support of the state's higher education needs. We could not fulfill our mission to this state without people like Peter McCausland. In 1963, President Tom Jones gave a speech down the street here in Columbia entitled, "The University of South Carolina, Faithful Index to the Ambitions and Fortunes of the State." The title of his speech is emblazoned on a bronze plaque behind me at the foot of the horseshoe on Sumter Street. That evening, President Jones told his audience about the history of the university and focused on a discussion of its mission. He said, "The university's mission is to be the pace setter, the capstone of higher education in our state. We must provide an opportunity for the optimum intellectual development of every young man or woman of our state who can profit from higher education. It is our intention and our determination to develop and maintain a cultural and educational atmosphere in the university community which will attract and hold creative people in all fields." Close quote. Peter, your gift, which is intended to strengthen the academic and research profile of the university through the recruitment and retention of faculty, and through supporting students in a variety of ways, enables us to accomplish exactly what President Jones proclaimed about our mission more than 6 decades ago. Moreover, your vision for this gift ensures that the McCausland College of Arts and Sciences will continue to thrive in a spirit of creative thought, productive dialogue, and broad collaboration. I'm especially enthusiastic about your support for our newest initiative to create a Center on Civic Scholarship and Public Discourse through the creation of the McCausland Chair in Civic Engagement, which will be pivotal in USC's reemphasis on a core value of its mission to instill democratic values in students and to prepare them for the lives as engaged citizens. Peter, again, thank you for improving the education of all undergraduates at USC. Your gift makes our university and our state a much better place. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Westbrook. It is now my honor to welcome the longest-serving governor in the history of the state of South Carolina, and also a history graduate from the great class of 1969, Henry McMaster.
And probably the oldest, too, I think. Well, I sure am happy to be here. Peggy's happy to be here. I'm glad to see all these faces. Some of y'all might not remember, but I spent a few years when Dr. Pastides was in charge working over here trying to raise money for the law school, and it worked. This is a magnificent institution. And I wish that you could see yourselves as I see you. I don't think there's a better group of people, there's not a better culture, there's not a better source of inspiration than we have right here where we are right this moment. And the whole world's not like this. I believe that we need to be proud of South Carolina, and we need to let people see how we do things. And as governor, I've had opportunity to do that. And I've learned a few things. One, I want to learn to thank people. Bonnie and Peter, thank you for the money. I'm sure this crowd will find some way to spend it. But this is the kind of, you can't rely on government, you can't rely on luck, you got to rely on your friends and your family. And McCausland's all that. And of course, I graduated from here, undergraduate and law. Daddy did the same thing. My brothers did the same thing, except Will went into banking and John went into social work. He was in the first class social work. He had masters in social work. Anyhow, that's 6 boys right there, and we're all tied to this great school. But let me go back. I just have a minute, but I want to go back just a little bit and read from how we got here, and why this is important. This was in 1739. This is not the entire report. Now this institution was 1801, but this was 1739. You know, we settled up in 1670, and this is a report to His Excellency James Glenn, Captain, General, Governor, and Commander-in-Chief in and over His Majesty's province of South Carolina, 1739. And it says as follows: Charlestown, the metropolis of the province of South Carolina, is pleasantly situated between Cooper and Ashley rivers, which form a spacious and convenient harbor. The climate of Carolina, formerly called Florida, you remember the Spanish named it that, is extremely agreeable and wholesome, and compared with the rest of the northern hemisphere, may well be looked upon as the most temperate part of the habitable earth on the north side of the equator. It is the fairest and most fruitful province belonging to Great Britain. It goes on and says, it is well watered with a great number of fine rivers, some of them navigable to several hundred miles against the stream. It has odoriferous woods, green all the year, and produces such fruit that they who once taste of it will despise the watery taste of that in England. Its silk is preferable to any, and its rice is the best in the world. So it is no wonder of Charlestown, which a few years ago was a small and inconsiderate place, be now a very great and flourishing town, adorned with handsome and commodious buildings, both private and public, amongst which the Church of St. Philip may justly be reckoned the finest structure in America. It goes on and says, between 200 and 300 sail of vessels repair to the port of Charlestown alone every year to be laden, from which surprising increase of trade, this town and province may justly be the most flourishing of any in His Majesty's dominions in America. Published according to an act of Parliament by B. Roberts and W.H. Toms, June 9, 1739. Now that's where we were back then, and if you read reports from the other colonies, nobody came close to what we've done here. Now since that time, we've exchanged the king for president and Congress and Supreme Court, but that's about the only thing that's changed. This flourishing nature is still ours, and we can still be an example for the rest of the country. A few things for you to know. We have been recognized, our economy's booming. Economy's booming. BMW, you know what they said when, I've heard them say it 3 times. First time I read about it in 1992, when the CEO of BMW met with Governor Campbell. They couldn't work out a deal of where BMW was going to go. They were looking for, in several states, and we were one of them, but the deal had not been made. And they couldn't get anything done. They had all the aides and assistants up at the State House talking meeting after meeting. Finally, the CEO and the governor went over to the pool house at the mansion, sat there and probably drank some tea or something. And within just a few minutes, they scratched out a couple of sentences on a cocktail napkin and shook hands. And that, according to the records of that time, the newspaper articles, that's when the deal was made. They started moving right there, didn't wait for the contracts. They started moving. And since then, 2 times, once 5 years ago and once just last year, I heard the chairman, the CEO of BMW say that South Carolina is a handshake state. He said, I would rather have your hand in mine and your word than a signed contract. Now that means something. That means that the people that we have produced through high and low in this bountiful place have been recognized as special. And they all tell me that. They say the reason we are here, the tax structure, the port, the low union representation, the climate, all those things are great. The woods is beautiful, but it's the people. It's always the people that make the difference. And ladies and gentlemen, this institution is second to none in the country in producing good, strong people. And the arts and sciences, I think that that's where it is, of course, but so do others. You remember the actor Charlton Heston, he was one. One time I had the privilege of sitting by him and talking to him about things, and he said that, I asked what his favorite movie was. He said, it was Ben-Hur. And I said, why is that? He said, because of the history. It's about history. He said, I used to think that history was the most important subject, but now I think that history is the only subject. And I tend to look at everything in that light and see how it all fits together. But one thing that we have that indicates how special we are, I tried to tell this story ever since I heard of it. There's the lawyers back in the colonies there were no law schools. They'd have to go to London if they had the money and had the talent to get there, and went to London to the Inns of Court, where they had, it's like a hotel, that's why they call it an inn, but it's right there amongst all the courts and everything in London. And that's where they would learn the law, and then they'd come back here. Well, South Carolina's signers of the Declaration of Independence, all four were lawyers. All four were graduates, I call them, of the Middle Temple in London. And fast forward to the Constitution of the United States, had four South Carolina signers. Three of them were lawyers, and all three of those were graduates of the Middle Temple in London. South Carolina, during those times, had 190 graduates of the Inns of Court, specifically the Middle Temple. That is more of such graduates than all of the rest of the colonies combined. Now, law is education. Education, this kind of historic education, is in arts and sciences. And I'm proud of that. And of course, that by the way, we have among us an honorary member of the Inns of Court, the Middle Temple, and that is no other than the Dean of the Law School. William, will you stand up and let them see, get some idea what that looks like? There you go. I'll finish up. It's all about brain power. And it's all about brain power. I think Dr. Pastides is not here, but Trish is here. I think I've started talking about brain power way back. But I believe it and I see it, and this institution is right smack in the middle of it. So I want to congratulate everyone for what you've done to build this magnificent school. McCausland, thank you. And I'll finish with one story about our place in the world, and that is about the traveling salesman that traveled around the country. Whenever he was in a little town on Sunday, we didn't get back home, he would try to find a little church to go to and go to church. So one Sunday he was someplace in Minnesota. He went to church, went over, and there was a payphone there. This was years ago. Y'all remember? Some of y'all older than us remember. And there was a little sign on the payphone. It said, "Calls to heaven, $10. He said, "I don't have the change, but that's interesting." Well, he started looking. Then he ended up out in Montana, and there was the same sign over the phone, "Calls to heaven, $10. He said, "I wish I had the change. I can't do it." Well, he started looking. As he went around, he'd look. Sometimes he'd see such a sign, and most of the times not. Well, he came to South Carolina. Went to churches on Sunday, went to church, went to a little social hall next door, and there was the phone, and sure enough, there was a sign, a little sign up above the phone. He went over there and looked. It said, "Calls to heaven, 10 cents. He said, "This is different." I got to inquire. Preacher came by. "Hey, preacher, why is it everywhere else calls $10, here's 10 cents? He said, "That's easy. In South Carolina, calls to heaven are local calls." You get it? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Governor McMaster. It is now my pleasure to introduce our faculty speaker, Dr. Jane Roberts, a Carolina Distinguished Professor and former department chair in the Department of Psychology. Dr. Roberts also serves as Executive Director of the Carolina Autism and Neurodevelopment Research Center, CAN for short, and leads the brain health initiatives in the College of Arts and Sciences. In her role as Director of CAN, Dr. Roberts leads one of the most prominent and impactful research programs on the USC campus. Her research advances early and accurate detection of autism and related neurodevelopmental disorders. Her research also requires true interdisciplinary approaches and partnerships that include research collaborations with more than 30 colleagues across the university who collectively have brought more than $75 million in research funding to USC. She is also an award-winning teacher and mentor who exemplifies the best of what our 1,259 faculty and staff in the College of Arts and Sciences as of 10:38 in the morning dedicate themselves to each and every day. And so I now welcome Dr. Jane Roberts to offer remarks on behalf of the faculty and staff of the College of Arts and Sciences. Jane.
Good morning. What a great day it is. And it is my honor to represent the faculty and staff of the college and to say thank you to Bonnie and Peter McCausland and the McCausland Foundation for this incredible gift and support to our academic mission. With departments that range from theater and dance to physics and astronomy and so many fields in between, our college truly spans the full range of disciplines that define the liberal arts. I want to highlight two aspects of this gift that will have particular and far-reaching impact. First is the immeasurable contribution to the research and teaching on brain health. And the second involves your support of faculty excellence. Your gift to establish the McCausland Brain Imaging Center has already brought in over $60 million in federal funding to USC over the past decade alone. And building on these achievements, your continued support will create even more research opportunities and for students to advance their findings in neuroscience. Neuroscience is the fastest growing major in our college. Focused on core areas of brain health, your investments in research and teaching will ultimately improve the length and quality of life for all South Carolinians, and indeed will have an impact nationally and globally. At the same time, your support of faculty excellence makes it possible for us to build an extraordinary teaching and research environment at USC. The McCausland Faculty Fellowship is considered the premier honor among early and mid-career faculty at USC, and it's been both a driver of excellence and a crucial tool for us to retain our very best faculty. Outstanding faculty raise our academic reputation and rankings. They recruit top students who want to work with those faculty, and that fosters a culture of excellence that has rippling effects. Your commitment to our faculty not only acknowledges the dedication behind our work, but it also inspires us to strive for excellence in serving our students and enriching our community. When I was chair of the Department of Psychology, one of the greatest challenges I faced was recruiting and then retaining outstanding faculty. While there are hundreds of stories I could probably share about that, I've chosen one in particular that exemplifies the impact of your generosity. In 2017, we were recruiting a top-tier scientist, someone who focused on autism within the brain health realm, and we found just the person we wanted, Dr. Jessica Bradshaw. In the 6 years since Dr. Bradshaw's arrived here, she has been awarded an R21, a career award, 2 R01s from the National Institute of Health, in addition to a large grant for the National Science Foundation. Now, to translate all those numbers and letters for some of you, what I'm really saying is she is an absolute scientific rock star. She has won some of the most prestigious awards and grants in our field. And in 2020, Dr. Bradshaw was recruited by an internationally renowned brain institute on the other side of the country. They wanted her for her own faculty. Of course, I don't blame them. She was turning heads with her work on early neurodevelopmental pathways to autism. We were in danger of losing one of our superstars. But fortunately for us, Dr. Bradshaw sits here with us today and decided to stay at USC. I'll tell you some of the reasons why she made that decision. It's because of the climate we have here. You've heard already about the people at USC. We're different. The care we have for the work we do and the growing community of scientists that we've built around the CAN Research Center to advance research in brain health and autism. But that's just one piece of the story. Dr. Bradshaw's decision to stay was also impacted by the resources provided through the McCausland Fellowship and the recognition that came with that. In large measure, thanks to your support, we didn't lose one of our brightest minds. Dr. Bradshaw continues to do groundbreaking work here at USC, attracting top students and bringing in large grants and raising the standard for the work that we all do. Your transformational investment in our faculty and to brain health will not only be a gift to our college, it represents a bold commitment to humanity's future. We're honored by your trust, inspired by your generosity, and we're committed to making this a legacy that will change for generations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Roberts. Our next speaker, Emily Rabon, is a senior from Aner, South Carolina, double majoring in history and political science with a minor in law and society. She is also a student in the South Carolina Honors College. Driven by her passion for constitutional history, Emily is completing an honors thesis on the framers' original intent of the Second Amendment. At USC, Emily has been involved in student government for 3 years, most recently serving as the Secretary of Government Relations. Beyond the classroom, Emily has interned with Justice John Few on the Supreme Court of South Carolina, with the 15th Judicial Circuit Solicitor's Office, the South Carolina House of Representatives, and for Judge Michelle Childs on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit. During the spring of her junior year, she participated in the South Carolina-Washington semester program, where she worked full-time in the nation's capital for Judge Childs. Emily will be attending Harvard Law School this fall to obtain her JD. It is now my pleasure to welcome Emily Rabon to speak on behalf of our students.
Good morning. It is an honor to be here today to celebrate this historic gift from Bonnie and Peter McCausland and the McCausland Foundation. My name is Emily Rabon, and as you have just heard, I am a senior from Aner, South Carolina. Over the past 4 years, I have been fortunate enough to study history and political science at the University of South Carolina. Today, as we celebrate this extraordinary gift, I would like to share 2 aspects of my experience at USC that illustrate just how impactful your gift will be, Mr. and Mrs. McCausland. The first involves support for student internships. Internships have been a cornerstone of my college experience. Over the past 4 years, I've had multiple opportunities to learn beyond the classroom through internships at both the South Carolina Supreme Court and the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals. These experiences have been formative to me, solidifying my desire to attend law school and allowing me to meet mentors in the field. I was fortunate enough to have a family that could support me as I pursued these internships, which, like so many, were unpaid. The reality is that internships can be financially impossible for many students and can lead others to pursue paid internships rather than pursuing their dream opportunities, which may be unpaid. Thanks to your gift, the College of Arts and Sciences will be able to support future generations of Gamecocks so that they can have experiences that shape their lives and their careers, just like the internships I had have shaped mine. Your gift will also transform the student experience in a second way, through supporting research that impacts students. USC is already ranked among the nation's top research universities, thanks to its amazing faculty. And their research has direct effects helping students like me learn in new and enriching ways. When I started writing my senior thesis on the history of why we adopted the Bill of Rights, I was lucky enough to work with Dr. James Risk in the history department. Professor Risk taught me not only how to conduct historical research, but also how to explore history beyond its surface. Through his support and collaboration, and because of his research, I was able to examine the Bill of Rights in a much more detailed and nuanced way. I'm especially grateful because this gift will support continued excellence in research by the faculty in our college, research that has direct and immediate benefits for our students. So, to the McCauslands, as you've just heard, I'll be attending law school in the fall. That dream is becoming reality only because of the research and internship opportunities that I've had here at USC. Opportunities that your gift will make possible for so many more students. So, on behalf of those future students, those future Gamecocks, who will also be able to follow their dreams because of your gift, thank you so very much.
Thank you, Emily. I want to take a moment to recognize three of Emily's fellow senior college. See, I told you I might get emotional before you. I warned you that might happen. Fellow seniors in the College of Arts and Sciences who are with us today and who swept the university's top recognitions at Awards Day last week. Tremaine Ansani, a neuroscience major, and Reese Lycan, a biochemistry and molecular biology major, were awarded the Algernon Sidney Sullivan Award, presented to the most outstanding male and female senior student, respectively. Rita Fatima, also a biochemistry and molecular biology major, was awarded the Stephen N. Swanger Award, presented to a senior for significant contributions to the university as an Omicron Delta Kappa member. Like Emily, all three of these students are also soon to be graduates of our #1 ranked public honors college. I am now humbled and honored to introduce the person who has brought all of us together here this morning, Peter McCausland, who will speak on behalf of both himself and his wife, Bonnie. Peter earned his bachelor's degree in history from the University of South Carolina in 1971 and graduated cum laude from Boston University Law School in 1974. In true arts and sciences fashion, Peter began his USC career as a chemistry major. It was during his sophomore, I'll let him tell that story. It was during his sophomore year that he switched majors and found his passion, and I would posit his natural home in history. And in reflecting on his years at USC with me over the past several months, Peter has talked at length about the impact that his history classes and professors had on shaping his worldview, and indeed in shaping this gift. He has also emphasized one other area that made a major difference in his academic journey, classes he took in German. And here I'd like to share a little story about an interaction that Peter and Bonnie had just yesterday as they arrived to their hotel. I was talking about the conversations we'd had about professors and history and in German, and Bonnie didn't know much about the German experience, and so she was asking Peter, can you tell me a little bit why you studied Germany? So my mom said it was important as a potential future doctor that I learned German as a language that was at the core of that. And I took German for a little while, but it was actually upper-level German classes where I really found my space, reading Brecht and reading Kafka in the original German. And then he recalled a professor of his with a shock of white hair, and he was telling the story of that experience with that faculty member. And I realized as he was talking that was an Amiridis faculty member of ours who just passed away in February at the age of 97. A faculty member, Gunther Holst, who was the chair of that department, who served as an associate dean in the college in the 1980s, an extraordinary scholar. And so I said to Peter, I think it might be him. He said, well, pull up the obituary, and looked at the picture, and he said, that was him. That was who inspired me. And I want to say to my faculty colleagues that is the inspiration that you have for our students each and every day, and that they will carry with them. And if they have the capacity to give as Peter has and Peter and Bonnie have, they will, but they will each give back in their own way to the university, to the nation, and the world. And that is what motivates and drives each of us each and every day across the college, faculty and staff alike. One of the more memorable things that Peter shared with me in our various conversations is how his experiences at USC expanded his empathy for others, and how by studying history and understanding foreign languages and cultures, he learned that you are more likely to understand other people's point of view and not dismiss them outright. After his time at USC, Peter embarked on a remarkable career in law and business, where his entrepreneurial acumen led to innovative developments that have had impact around the world. And if you want to learn about what it means to have an iron will, I commend to you the story of Peter's defense of Airgas, the company he built into a global juggernaut, and that he defended from a hostile takeover bid, ultimately not only selling the company for more than double the hostile bid price, but protecting all but 5 of the 17,000 jobs of the company along the way. Commitment to people. Peter's passion for history, never far from the surface, reemerged in 2009 when he and Bonnie purchased Erdenheim Farm in southeastern Pennsylvania to preserve it from development. The farm dates to 1630 and is a model of sustainable farming, land conservation, and historic preservation. In 1994, Bonnie and Peter formed the McCausland Foundation, which focuses on education, especially for vulnerable youth, medical research, and conservation. The McCausland's generous gifts to the university, many of which you've already heard about, both personally and through the foundation, have already established the McCausland Brain Imaging Center and the McCausland Faculty Fellowship. In our college, we truly believe that the McCausland College of Arts and Sciences is foundational to our students' lives. We hope that during their time with us, our students develop the values, knowledge, skills, and direction needed to build a successful life and career. Peter McCausland is the living embodiment of those ideals. And so, on behalf of the faculty, staff, students, and alumni of the McCausland College of Arts and Sciences, and with deepest gratitude for what has and will come from this act of inspiring generosity, I invite Mr. Peter McCausland to share a few reflections with us.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks to everyone for coming today. I really appreciate it. My family appreciates it. Thanks to Governor McMaster, Chair Westbrook, and other members of the board. Did you just turn that fan up? President Amiridis, elected officials of the state of South Carolina, Dean Joel Samuels, faculty, staff, students, alumni, and guests, Dr. Roberts and Emily, good luck to you. I really appreciate everyone being here. I'm here today with my wife, Bonnie, of 52 years, my daughter Elizabeth and her husband, Kyle Salata, my son, Chris McCausland, and his wife, Christina, and their son, and my grandson, Tanner, and several members of from the McCausland Foundation, including Peter Ernst, Allison Bowl, and Jen Brown. By the way, Jen is a Gamecock, having graduated in 2017. It's an honor and a privilege to stand before you today as we turn the page to an exciting new chapter in our beloved university's history. We support the University of South Carolina in the hope that every student will have a great experience like I did. I was 16 years old when I first walked onto this campus, and I was far away from my home in Pennsylvania. I can assure you that I wasn't thinking at that time that I might be standing up here under these circumstances 59 years later. Our gifts reflect my gratitude for the many gifts this university has bestowed upon me and our desire to see this university continue to grow and prosper. We have enjoyed working with President Amiridis, Dean Samuels, and Michelle Dodenhoff to structure a gift that can make a difference, just as we have enjoyed working with Presidents Palms and Pastides, Dean Fitzpatrick, Dean Pruitt, and others over the years. I really appreciate the kind words about the McCausland Faculty Fellowship. I remember years ago sitting with Dean Fitzpatrick, and I asked her, what's the biggest problem you face every day? And she told me it was faculty retention. And I'm so glad to hear that it's working. Standing here, I'm reminded of how much the University of South Carolina offers its students. While I was here, I enjoyed a wide variety of experiences. I remember fondly my times as a Sigma Nu, especially the great friendships. I remember the things I hope they don't do as well. But I've followed the Delta chapter, and I'm very proud of them. They've gotten involved in philanthropy over the last 10 years or so, and they do a great job. I participated in the state student legislature when I was here, and that was very interesting, and it was the genesis of my lifelong interest in government and politics. I love club sports, and I love watching the Gamecocks on the field and on the court. I wrote articles for the Gamecock newspaper, organized a couple of rock concerts. I was at an interfraternity council meeting in San Francisco, and I met a guy from Berkeley who was doing it in California, and he told me how to do it, so I organized a couple of rock concerts here in Columbia. I did a lot of interesting things here, at times at the expense of my academic career, which went from average to ridiculous to sublime over the course of my first 3 semesters. I gave new meaning to the term sophomore slump. I changed majors and I settled on history, which has been my passion from the time I first learned to read. I've always tried to take the long view and to build things which are durable, and I'm convinced that this outlook came from my study of history. I guess you could also say that the study of history afforded me the opportunity to give back to future generations of Gamecocks. I've always felt welcomed here. It's an open and honest culture that this university has, and there's a special atmosphere on this campus, which has always been gentle and accepting of different views, even during difficult times. I was here during the years of the Vietnam War and the Kent State tragedy. Thanks to Dr. Palms, I reconnected with my alma mater around 25 years ago. Since that time, our gifts have always included support for the faculty, because outstanding professors who inspired me are what I remember most of my college days. With today's gift, we hope to perpetuate the legacy of excellence of the faculty of the College of Arts and Sciences, while expanding opportunities for students majoring in arts and sciences so that they can graduate with all the necessary tools to pursue meaningful careers or to otherwise find purpose in life. Having established the McCausland Center for Brain Imaging and watched the university move forward successfully with research and courses focused on brain health, which in turn have attracted significant funding, we're pleased to establish the McCausland Chair in Neuroscience to provide additional support for both faculty and students in that space. Each of these gifts has been designed to foster long-term improvement of the academic experience. We're back here today because this university has been a great steward of the funds we have provided in the past, and it is our privilege to be able to continue our support. As I mentioned, my personal journey to Columbia was serendipitous. This is true of most of the things in my life, like meeting Bonnie a year after I graduated and going to law school in Boston because Bonnie was at Tufts, raising 2 wonderful children. They're wonderful now. And having 7 grandchildren, which I had nothing to do with, but starting my own law firm and then Airgas, deciding to preserve Erdenheim Farm, and so much more. I know that this university helped me to develop the curiosity, the critical thinking skills, and the confidence that enabled me to take advantage of opportunities that presented themselves over the years. And for that, I am grateful. And it isn't just me. Bonnie is very supportive of this gift. Over the years, she has become very close to several of my college friends and their spouses, and she has a great feeling about this place and this institution. Like everyone here today, she feels the warmth, the grace, the strength, and the passion of the University of South Carolina. Our shared belief in the power of education to elevate humanity and our determination to make the University of South Carolina a beacon of hope and inspiration will move us forward. Our success will be measured by the minds we inspire and the lives we touch. May we continue to nurture the dreamers, thinkers, and innovators who will shape the future of our world for the better. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you. Thank you, Bonnie and Peter, for your extraordinary gift and for your commitment to the University of South Carolina, and in particular to the College of Arts and Sciences. I also want to echo Peter's thanks to President Palms, Pastides, and Amiridis, and to former Dean of Arts and Sciences and dear friend of mine, Mary Ann Fitzpatrick, for everything you have done over the past quarter century to lay the groundwork for this transformational gift. Over the past 5 months, as I've gotten to know Peter better than ever through nearly weekly phone calls, one word has come up in our conversations time and time again, and that word is excellence. And as you just heard, excellence is a core goal of this gift. Bonnie and Peter, your gift not only recognizes the excellence already present in your beloved College of Arts and Sciences and University of South Carolina, but ensures that we continue to strive and to achieve new levels of impact and excellence in all that we do. Bonnie and Peter, at a time when the value of liberal arts and science education has been placed in question and in some cases directly attacked, your gift sends the clear and unequivocal message that a liberal arts and science education matters. Your commitment is truly transformational. And by focusing on 3 core areas essential to everything we are and everything we do, you sent an equally important message that our success is vested in supporting our students, elevating and supporting our faculty and staff, and focusing on impactful areas of research and teaching like brain health. Your generosity will be a catalyst for our university to nurture and launch new generations of leaders for our state and beyond. And now, Bonnie and Peter, if you would please join me. May I have a drum roll, please? Now I would ask everyone to please stand and join as Bryson Wood, a junior majoring in chemistry, leads us in singing our alma mater, which is printed on the back of your program.
We hail thee, Carolina, and sing thy high praise with loyal devotion, remembering the days when proudly we sought thee, thy children to be. Here's a health, Carolina, forever
You see, our students truly can do anything. Remember, Bryson's a chemistry major, folks. Arts and sciences, living proof. On behalf of the College of Arts and Sciences family, I would like to once again thank the McCauslands for their transformational gift that will support excellence in our college and will support the citizens of the state of South Carolina, the nation, and the world for generations to come. Thank you also to Holly May and Darcy McKee, our sign language interpreters. I thank the College of Arts and Science Dean's Office staff, and in particular, Megan Plott, Derek Shook, Brian Gentry, Mike Doty, Carol Young, and their teams for all of their efforts to make today a special day for the McCauslands and for all of us. And on behalf of the college's planning team, I also thank Pam Bowman and her team, and Dan Dillon and his team, including Brandon Pugh and Bob Wirtz, as well as Michelle Dodenhoff and her team for making today's events a success. Forever to thee, and forever to the University of South Carolina, McCausland College of Arts and Sciences. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.